History remembers kings and conquerors, but some of its quietest stories belong to the young. This is the Young Legends Mystery Series, where truth blurs with legend and the past still whispers. In the final days of the 1700s, a boy emerged from the forests of southern France. He could not speak. He wore no clothes. He flinched from fire, growled at strangers, and ran on all fours. No one knew who he was or what he had survived. He had no name, no language, no family, only the silence of the woods behind him and the bewildered world ahead. This is the true story of the silent boy of Aveyron, a mystery that science tried to solve and never truly could. It began with whispers in the countryside. Around 1797, farmers in the rural region of Aveyron spoke of a wild figure seen darting between the trees. A child, they said, naked, thin, quick, eating acorns and roots, avoiding all contact. For years, the villagers tried to catch him. Sometimes they saw him drinking from streams. Once, he was spotted sleeping in a hollow tree. But each time someone approached, he vanished into the forest. Finally, in January of 1800, the mystery boy was captured. He was around 11 or 12 years old, his skin weathered from exposure, his nails long, his gaze cautious and animal-like. When asked his name, he gave no answer. He made no words at all. So they gave him one, Victor of Aveyron. France was entering the Age of Enlightenment, a time when reason, logic, and science were replacing superstition, and Victor became a test case. To some, he was proof of what humans became without society, a natural man, a blank slate untouched by civilization. But to one man, Victor was more than a curiosity. Dr. Jean-Marc Gaspard Itard, a young physician in Paris, believed Victor could be taught, that he could become part of the world he'd been born into. Itard brought Victor into his home and spent the next 5 years trying to teach him language, emotion, and empathy. At first, progress was slow. Victor resisted clothing. He screamed at mirrors. He did not respond to his name. He would bite, scratch, and rock himself for hours in silence. But gradually, something shifted. He began responding to commands. He made eye contact. He learned how to write a few simple words. He began to understand tone. Once, when called by name, he pressed his hand to his chest. Itard wrote, "This was not instinct. It was identity." Victor was learning something, but no one was sure what. Speculation spread across France. Was Victor abandoned by his family because of a disability? Was he raised by animals, a real-life Mowgli? Or was he simply a traumatized child who fled something too terrible to name? Some modern researchers believe he may have had autism, though that term didn't exist in the 1800s. Others say he was abused and his silence was a defense, a wound too deep for language. Victor never told his story, not because he wouldn't, but because he couldn't. Still, the world projected its theories onto him. Science wanted a subject, society wanted a lesson. Victor just wanted peace. Despite the world's fascination, Victor never learned to speak. He spent the rest of his life under gentle care, mostly in quiet obscurity. He died in 1828, likely in his late 30s, still silent, still unnamed beyond what others gave him, still a mystery. But Victor left something behind. His case inspired early special education, influenced studies on language development, and challenged assumptions about what it means to be human. In trying to reach him, science discovered more about itself. Itard once wrote, "Perhaps he cannot learn to speak, but he has taught us how to listen." Victor entered history as a blank page, but the world around him filled that page with meaning, struggle, and empathy. His story still echoes, not in words, but in questions. Who was the boy in the forest? What happened to him before the world found him? And how many more like him have been lost and never returned? This has been Young Legends Mystery Series, because not all legends are loud. Some live in silence.